Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome. Mark Miller here. On the line, I've got Rory. Can Rory say hi?
Hey Mark, how you doing? You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. I understand we've got a guest with us today.
We do. It's the amazing, the illustrious, the infamous Will Bennett is here with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Will Bennett
Fantastic.
Hello, hello.
rocks.
Welcome, Will.
That's right. Will Bennett
Welcome,
rocks.
welcome. Thank you.
Will, it's great to hear your voice. I must admit, it's a different accent than I imagined based on the font and color I was seeing in the chat room. So just want to say it's great to hear you in person. Let's I just realized I don't have my let's see if I can find this. Will sent me an email. Let me go get that on screen here. I was so wrapped up in here we go. Will sent me this beautiful, at the risk of, let me maybe not put your email up on screen there. Will, is that a problem what I just did? Do I need to come back and delete this stream?
No, that's fine.
You think so? Yes or no? Okay. So Will says it's fine. So send him lots of spam is basically what he's saying. He sent me this awesome email, which I wanted to show, but unfortunately I just, I don't want to actually, broadcast your email like crazy, your email address like crazy. But but basically he says, hey, I can't sleep at night because all I'm thinking about are meteors drones catching falling meteors. Actually, he didn't say that, but he kind of described a sense that I have frequently, which is that you just can't get anything else done until you solve that problem that's on your mind. And for Will, the problem was this catching. And he sent me a link to something over here at jsfiddle.net. And I'm just going to play with it for a little bit here in the background and let you see this and take a look at this. It's actually pretty cool stuff here. This is it right here. Whoops, let me get rid of this. Okay. And so this is kind of the playing area right here. And we have the ability to kind of come in here and control our drone. This is our drone right here. And this is our portal. And so if we move to the right like this, you can see two things right here. There's a green line and then a red line. And then look at the catch. It's beautiful, right? He's got this. What I love about this is there's this really awesome visual feedback that he has built into this. That's one of the things that first caught my eye in this. The green line is the line in which thrust is occurring, and the red line is the line in which decay is occurring. Now, in our implementation, we had a problem that I kind of knew about, but I didn't really think was a big deal until later when it came time to actually have to catch the meteors. Catching the meteors turned out to be a little bit of a guess. If we had thrust on, we were good, but if we were in the decay process, we didn't always catch it. And here, let me demonstrate this. I'm going to go to the right a bit here. We're on planet Earth. I'm going to go left now, and let's see if we can catch it. Yeah, nice. Change the planet. Let's go to Mars, a little bit less gravity over there. Move to the right over here. And look, now we're in the decay phase. So Will doesn't have that decay problem like we do. And the reason why is actually kind of interesting to take a look at. And so let's kind of look at our decay problem first. Oh, and by the way, so I should tell you, normally we start off with a check-in in the code, but I've been just refactoring like crazy, and I am halfway through a refactoring process, and I just kind of got into a little hitch that I'm in the middle of. So I haven't quite finished everything, but basically, I guess I'll take a look at the refactoring problem in a second. Let's do a search here for, and let me get the find results in find result window too. I want to look for decay right here, and we'll find that. And there's a lot of it right here. This is, I think, the problem. So here I've got some decay here, where basically I'm about every 10 milliseconds, right? If the 10 milliseconds have passed, I'm going to drop our velocity by about 1%. That's what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
And that's happening about every 10 milliseconds. Now, I knew I kind of had a problem. So to solve the problem, I added this code. And basically assuming that, hey, we were going to be updating more frequently than every 10 milliseconds, so everything was going to be fine and work out, and I wouldn't have necessarily a problem. But it's kind of a hack is my fix here, and if we are not updating frequently, like say our update time goes to like say every 50 milliseconds, then 5 times where we should have been dropping the decay by dropping velocity by 1%, we only did it once.
Sure, yeah.
Because so
it's not tied to the refresh rate.
Right.
Or it is tied to the refresh rate.
Yeah, it's kind of...
When maybe it shouldn't be.
Yeah, there's a better way to fix this. However, I like Will's solution, which is kind of, I would call elegant. So, let's see if I can find that. Will, can you help me remember where that is? Where am I going for that?
It would be in the game loop.
That's right.
So it's going to be down a little.
All right. So here in the game loop, this is kind of interesting stuff here. This is kind of the key part, this while loop right here that fixes it right here. What it essentially ensures that if more time has passed than our frame rate is, like say like the amount of time since the last update is 10 times as long as our frame rate, right? So if our seconds per frame is something like 1/100th of a second, and we've had a half of a second pass, something along those lines, or a tenth of a second pass, so 10 times as many moments in time have passed, as many frame durations have passed as we want, what happens is it's going to say, well, hey, look, if the amount of seconds we need to update is greater than the seconds per frame, we're going to update at least once. Then we're going to subtract the seconds per frame from the amount of seconds we have to update, advance our current time, and then come back in and do the test again. And so what he's doing here is basically, if we think of this maybe in more easier terms, say for every second we're going to update and 10 seconds pass. When we get to here, seconds to update is going to be 10, seconds per frame is going to be 1. So that means we're going to go through this thing 9 or 10 times, dropping this thing down and getting all those updates that we missed. S&B says, hi there, out in the chat room. S&B, hello to you. Will Bennett's on the line with us, by the way, S&B, so we've got him. We'll say hi for us one more time, please.
Hi, S&B. Hi, S&B.
Yeah, doesn't he sound like so distinguished? He sounds like that guy in that beer commercial, like the most interesting man. I feel like we've got Will Bennett is the most interesting man on the show. It's awesome. So, and we're looking at this awesome code that he built. So he gave us this, and then and I was talking to Will yesterday about this, and I said, well, let's do this in pieces. And he kind of asked me what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to kind of create something brand new. And I said, no, what I want to do instead is I want to go into our code and I want to work our way through it, make mistakes, do whatever we have to do to fix it.
So migrate from where we are to a better version. Exactly.
And so one of the things that became clear in looking at the differences between our two code bases is that I'm using a call to performance.now all over the place. But performance.now doesn't work with that loop, that game loop that we just were looking at. Right? Because right now what we're doing here is when we pass in the current time isn't actually the current time outside of on the computer. It's the current time for that update, right? So because of that, all my calls to performance now through the code are no good, and we have to replace most of them. If we go out and look at the call here, let's find results 2. Let's look at find results 1. Here's find results 1 here. You can see I've got a fair amount of these that are out there. In fact, I think I had even more than these. Is that true or no? Yeah, it looks like this is after my refactoring. Yeah, I had a lot more than these. I had probably about 5 times as many of these performance.now calls. So, oh, no.
So this is a little bit like when you're doing unit tests, Mark.
Explain that. What are you thinking, Rory?
Well, so what happens is if you have your code littered with actual calls to get date time, for example, then what will happen is when you try to run some of that code from within a unit test, you can't artificially change those facts. It will actually reach out and grab the actual date and time. So if you wanted to test a situation such as what happens on a leap year,
it's exactly like that.
Do that. Okay?
Yes.
So what you're doing is you're replacing the manual, reaching out and getting the genuine date time with a passed-in fact that you're going to be able to arrange. And that
Exactly.
means that when you come through this game loop, you can say, well, hang on, we appear to have suffered some lag. Therefore, what we need to do is to catch up X seconds worth of lag.
Yes.
Or X seconds worth of physics processing.
Yes. Beautiful. It's exactly like that. Exactly like for test cases. Yeah, it's funny when you asked it, I didn't quite get what you were saying because I was onto something else in my head. But yes, of course, with regards to the now and setting this up. So yes, absolutely, that's the case.
And so we will in fact be inherently making our code more testable by doing this as well.
Yeah. So so let's go through these, and let me do a refresh on this, and actually we'll see how many of these are left here on the performance.now calls. And we'll do that. And then once I get all those done, I think I'm going to check all that in, and then we'll test and we'll see what happens. See how nasty it is here. So let's just do this. Roy keeps teaching me this awesome feature where if I minimize that, I can hit F8 to just jump to next one, and Shift F8 should take me back like that. So
Right.
Here we go. So I've got in a constructor. Guess what? I really should get rid of this too. At first I was thinking no, but then I looked at it and I'm like, yes. So let's change it. So we'll say pass in now there. That's in our create drone. That means we've got to go out to create drone and we got to put a now in here as well. That's there. Oh, wait. Nope. That is just passed as a, that's not a call. Okay. So let's go look at create sprite. That means this is a little nasty. Right here, my create sprite function needs to change. Yeah, it's a lot of work by hand. Would love to have this feature from CodeRushed in here. All right, so the create sprite
That would
function
be good.
is here, and then we're going to pass in now right here. Okay. And here, do I have a now in here? I do. That's passed into create sprite. So that's all working for me as well. Holy cow, C# Fritz is raiding with a party of 77 people. Right in the middle of my most embarrassing,
Welcome, everybody.
my embarrassing pants down moment in code. My code doesn't compile right now. I'm refactoring. Roy, you want to tell everybody where we are?
But we are making the code better. So what's happened is we've been making this game or this sort of interactive portion for the stream for some time now, and it's reached the point where we've realised that we really should sort of start making some code standards here, some sort of improvements, because what we've been doing has been reaching out from our animation sequence and calling into, I think it's performance.now, or yeah, I think
Yep,
that's right.
performance.now.
Essentially, what happens is that means that our code is somewhat fragile. We can't really afford to, well, we were just talking about this a few minutes ago. It's very hard to test because you can't arrange that the time be a certain fact and have the code react to that. So instead of having the code be allowed to reach out and get this time independently, we're now going to go through and arrange that we pass this value into the system so that the system is essentially entirely predictable based on the external stimuli that we feed it.
Yes.
And one of the main reasons for doing this is that at the moment we've got kind of an animation loop, which is going obviously at whatever speed is entirely practical for the machine running things. But also you've got a physics simulation loop, sort of running out of sync, as it
Right.
were. So what happens is if you experience lag for some reason, your computer happens to be doing something else, a defrag kicks in or whatever, what happens is everything slows down. And then when it finally speeds up again, there is no calculation which says, well, how long have I been running and how much do I need to catch up with? So what happens is you literally get the entire thing will slow down and then speed up again, but it won't catch up. It will effectively have lost those calculations. So
Right.
by refactoring in this way, we're going to make our system much more predictable and also be capable of saying to it, well, okay, we believe that 10 seconds have passed since we last ran this physics simulation. Therefore, please run 10 seconds worth of physics simulation in order to catch up. I think that's
Yes.
essentially what we're doing. Is that right,
Yeah,
Mark?
that is totally it, Rory. Thank you so much for that catch up in terms of what we're doing.
A
So
little luck, people even understood it.
yeah, I think we're good. So welcome everyone from C# Fritz's stream. I was actually watching some of that this morning. It was looking pretty good. Everything in main.ts I'm keeping the execute command because this is called externally. So everything here I'm going to keep, and I'm just going to comment this out that that I'm going to keep that bit right there. Let's keep looking for all the performance now calls.
Well, that's because this bit is essentially the orchestrator of the system rather than the system itself. So if we were to be doing tests, we wouldn't be testing this stuff. We would be replacing this
Right.
with the test and
Right.
orchestrating the inner pieces of the system. So
Now-
that makes perfect sense.
While I do this, Roy, you know what would be cool is if you can tell people, kind of everybody who's here, kind of what we're building, right? What the overall...
What are we building?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so from the top, basically we wanted to give a great experience for everybody in the chat room who was coming along, was going to listen to us and watch what we're doing, and so we wanted a bit of interactivity. So what we're doing is we're building a kind of one or more games. We've got this idea that we have a rocket ship in the corner, a sort of an undockable CodeRushed logo at the moment, which is capable of being moved around, basically interactively with yourselves issuing instructions from the chat room. So we can launch that, move it around. We can also have you launch a drone of your own, so an individual drone per person with their username attached to it can be launched from that main mothership and can move around the screen itself. With further commands, you can drop paint on the screen. You can drop seeds out of the mothership, which grow into nice plants, a bit more interactivity again. But we're starting to drift more in the direction of an actual game involving these drones so that they can be moving around and catching meteors and various things that are dropped from, well, at the moment, the main mothership. But we've recently changed that, and we're sort of drifting in the direction of a kind of a warp gate point. Sorry, no, that's not true. Sorry, there's got a little portal on the screen. Portal will have meteors emerge from it. You move your drone underneath, you catch the meteor, and you can throw this meteor to another player or somebody maybe on the opposition. We've sort of got this vague idea, maybe we shoot basket hoops, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we've just recently been changing things so that you don't so much launch the drones out of the mothership, but they warp in. So in our last episode, we were creating a little warp gate, and we were showing from scratch, if you want to go back and look at that previous video, effectively how a single asset is turned into a really nice looking warp gate with all kinds of glow effects and so forth, animation breaking down into the frames, and then integrating that into our system. So we've got a lot of interactive pieces, and what we're doing is we're steadily starting to pull these together into one cohesive whole so that we can have a proper interactive game wherein we can just effectively score points and then maybe get the ability to get sort of bonus, I don't know what you call them, almost superpowers of the like. Because, for example, if you guys are talking in the chat room and we're not necessarily paying attention, then you can yell out at Mark with an exclamation mark, and in theory, had we been running the software, there would have been an audio cue there for Mark to sort of pay attention to the chat room, or indeed myself. And, so the more and more facility that you would get within the chat room as a result of maybe scoring points and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Everything Roy just said. Okay, so awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I actually kind of am thinking, you know what I want to do? I want to go through step one of this. I want to get this and test it and see how badly have we broken it, is kind of the idea. That's what I want to do first. What is this? This is in main. Okay, so here, I'm going to come in here. We're going to say performance now, and we're going to say we'll keep this as well, like this. This call to performance.now. And because that's coming out from my main when I create the rocket. Let's see where else we are here. Time start is this passed in? I think it is now. Now it is. So that can just say that's equal to now as well. Right there. Yep. And let's see what else. What else do we have here? Fire right quick. Where's that coming from? That's got a parameter launch already. Oh, but it's, wait, set timeout. This one's tricky. Because set timeout is going to call fire right quick. I got to throw it some...
So if we had been in another language, if we had another structure such as C# or VB, we would maybe, instead of being passing now in, we might be providing an datetime provider, which would be an object, which instead we could rig with an alternative version to say now plus 10 seconds. So I don't know that that's necessarily as applicable here, but
I'm going to keep these here because these are fired later in time is what's happening here, right? So and this is only happening, this is as part of the launch, the initial launch cycle. It's not called anywhere else. This is just, all this does is just, so I'm going to be okay with both of these performance now calls inside here. They're not critical for the testing. Here's a constructor right here. We're going to have to pass in now Ooh, to Sprite proxy. That's tough. That's all over the place. So,
Right, we have a few of those.
yeah, well, this is going to be probably our last big one here that we're going to have to change. Yeah, they're all over the place. Okay,
And we
so
have some derivatives of as well.
yeah, so let's we absolutely do. But I think we're going to have to do it, or I could actually keep it. I could say, okay, you know what? Let's keep it for now, just because it's so big of a mess, and we'll come at it later. Is what we'll do. Let's see here. What do we got here? Delay start. Oh, this one's also another problematic piece for getting rid of our performance now calls is in this property setter for delay start, because there's no way I can pass an additional parameter to it. I'm going to have to change this property setter to. Go ahead, Will. What do you want to say?
There is one way you can fix that. It's a bit hacky, I would say, but you can create a static global class that has the game time.
Oh, that's actually not that hacky at all. I don't mind that. That's kind of a really cool solution. I like that. In fact, yeah, I could do it. It's actually incredibly hacky, but like, watch this. It's like crazy. It's very very few keystrokes. Watch this. If I call it performance, right, and I create a function, a static function in here called now, like this, that returns a number like that, and maybe just for now we'll say return performance.now. Make that static, like that. What's wrong?
So I'm just curious how the innards of that function will distinguish from itself.
Hold on. I'm going to do that for now. Hold on.
Isn't that a massively infinite recursion?
Is there static up here? I'm not sure what the syntax is for a static class. That doesn't look good. What's my under? No, it doesn't like that. It's
I don't
let's
think
do
you
that.
need static on the class itself.
All right. So what's my problem down here? There is no problem.
Get in front of now.
Duplicate identifier performance. I wanted.
So it's aware of the other performance class, yeah.
Yeah. All right, fine. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's call this game. Game. Because I've already got this class out here called Gravity Games. Let's just call it Game Time, like this. We'll do this for now, and we'll just do this.
Okay.
And I want to do, I think I want to just do a global search and replace, I think, for that, is what I think I want to do. Whoops. I want to do it here. Look for performance.now, replace with gametime.now. And go through the entire solution and match whole word. I think I want to do, let's just make sure we're finding these in here. Yep, there it is right there. Okay. Let's replace all of those. Yes. So pretty intense. Okay. However, the cool thing is now we can modify that independently is what we can do. Let's do that. Let's fix this. And now we have game time in here. So, okay. And now do we have a problem here or not? I think we don't. Yeah. Okay. So that, I think, is a relatively good fix. Now let's try to run this. Let's see what happens if we get a compile. Cam does cool stuff, is asking, is my beard purple? It's kind of purplish blue and reddish pink on the bottom underneath there. So that's what's going on with my beard. Let's see what happens here with the loading. I almost have a feeling it's not going to work because I'm going to have trouble. Yeah, it looks like it's too late. And we're going to get an error message in the back here. There it is right there. Hold on. So we're going to say, okay, we're going to close this down. When that happens, what I got to do is I have to kill every instance of Chrome on my machine, which I've just done. Restart the Twitch stream so I can make sure you guys are getting a good signal. Looks like, by the way, I'm still on the bad internet. I'm still in the progress of going back and fixing the good internet. So we have that high-speed upload. So apologies if there's any lag here. Looks like it's not its normal high level that we have here. Okay, so let's run one more time. Yeah, I hope everything works, is what I hope.
Fair enough.
By the way, Mr. Announcer
So
Bot,
does this?
go ahead, Rory. What do you want to say?
I was going to say, does this new technique with the GameTime.now mean that we didn't necessarily need to refactor everything to take a now parameter?
Uh-huh. I think
That's
that's
a shame, eh?
absolutely the case. It's exactly what that means. The cool thing is that we can. By the way, Mr. Announcer Bot's in the house. Rory, you want to do that demo one more time?
Yeah, let's.
I mean the calling my name demo.
Oh, I see.
Watch
Yeah,
this
so
in
for
the
those
chat
who want to
room.
grab Mark's attention, or indeed anybody's attention, if we're not paying attention to the chat room, then just bang Mark, which is to suggest the exclamation point followed by Mark, should trigger. Because I can't tell because audio not being shared.
It won't trigger in this screen. He has to switch to a different screen.
I think I switched. I'm on a switch screen and should
Depends
work
how
on.
delayed the stream is.
Yeah, I
Maybe
should.
You did.
Yeah, I
like-
should see it.
Yo, 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 Mark!
That one worked. Maybe I just switched it after. I think I just switched it after you had done it.
Dude,
Give him.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
check out the chat room.
Are you hearing that audio, Roy, or did I fail to share?
I'm not hearing that. No,
Wow.
but that's okay.
And I think I have
In any
no
case, the facility
options.
is there for our viewers.
Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing for a second with you guys and get it so that you can hear the sound. My bad on that. Here it comes for Rory and Will, so they can hear it automatically. And we'll do a.
Awesome!
Yeah, you beat me to it. There you go. You heard it that time, Rory?
I did.
Okay, excellent. All right, so hey, good news. Things look like they're maybe working. We should try dropping like a seed, for example. There we go. And I can take this one off and we can just use the overlay.
It's just working.
What'd you say? Everything's working? Isn't that nice? It looks like it
Everything's
is.
just working really nice.
So I'm going to do a launch
It's
right
all
here.
pre-planned and working perfect.
Everything I'm typing in the chat room, plenty loud. Kabuki Badger says plenty loud. That's the that I think he's referring to as my desktop audio sounds. Let's go see if I can bring up the mixer on that and see. Because is it Roy that's loud or is it?
Good question. Am I too loud? Or what can we correct? What can we help with?
Yeah, it's either Rory that I can drop here if he's too loud, or it is it's the rest of the sounds, the sound effects. Let us know, Kabuki Badger.
It could also be our discussion of whether or not I could hear things. And of course, the answer would be that the stream can already hear them plenty loud. But basically, I'm not listening to the stream directly because there's a delay on it. So I have a mute on my stream, and I'm listening to Mark directly over my Skype connection. However, in order to hear things like the announcements there, Mark has to share his audio with me over that medium, which is why I sometimes am not aware of that happening. So hopefully that has been corrected now, and yeah.
We'll see.
Oh,
We'll see what happens. So,
I want to say exactly how loud. I have other screens up, but your sound cut right through them.
what did you say? Oh wait,
Uh,
hard to say exactly.
Kabuki Badger
Other
says,
screens up, but your sound cut right through them. Well, sounds fine here. Says DNet 78. Okay, so we'll whoops, test gate is what I wanted to do. That's the gate that we had been we've been testing yesterday. This is what we left off at yesterday, and we don't have this quite working yet. But I'm gonna just go collect all these coins here, so you can see the gate we built right there. Let's go down 3 and just pick up those coins.
I
And so,
like the gates.
yeah, the gate turned out really well. We built that essentially completely from scratch. We had a spinning kind of spaceship that we started with right up there, and and that's kind of what we kind of modified that and gave it some glow and created something with a few frames that has this nice smooth rotating animation. So, and for folks who are just with us that are joining and hanging out, there's another one here. I think, what is it? I want to say test wall? No, is it test sample? Just try test sample and see
We
what
have
happens.
many tests at this point, yeah.
There we go. So this is kind of cool too, just to bring folks up to speed, because I've got different kinds of walls out here. The walls that are dashed, I can't go through. So if I type, try to go down like that, I cannot go through the dashed walls. I similarly cannot go through the other solid walls. I'm going to lose some health if I hit those. Looks like the sparks are coming from the wrong position. on this to me. Oh, that was okay. The other one was just high, is what it looked like to me. And if I come down one more time, I'm out of health and I'll blow up. Also, I didn't see the blow up on that. Kind of interesting.
Okay.
So looks like we might have, I don't know if this is related, I don't think this is related to what we just did, but let's bring out another
So
drone.
I'm just watching the stream with the sort of playback of that. The first sparks was very strange. The second one came from a better location, and there was no explosion, but there was smoke.
Here, let me bring this up. So if I bring this up and switch to this view, Rory can see live and comment on it and interact with it here. So I'm going to come up 4 and left
Yeah, that seemed
4.
to work.
And there's me coming in from the bottom. Oh, I just snuck right
You
through.
went straight through it. You just at the right location.
Yeah,
There.
the double lines right here are bouncing, and you don't have it. There's no harm to the drone when you hit those. So let's go right 4.
I just
and-
vanished
and down.
rather than exploded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the yeah, I vanished as well. So I think we have a bug, is what I think.
Strange.
Let me look inside here and see what we've got. If we've got any error messages. Not any error messages that I'm seeing when that thing happened. So let's maybe look through the code on this. That would be in the drone. And the thing is, we didn't test this yesterday. So
No, that's true.
oh, take a look at this.
Ooh.
We have some errors. I wonder if we have other errors that are in this list of. Let's see. View output.
Error list. Was a couple items higher.
Wait.
There's a TS main error there. Oh, main TS, sorry.
Where are you seeing it right here?
Yeah. That. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've got an extra.
Extra
missing-
brown on the left.
Yeah, got it. Okay, interesting. All right, and that's it. Okay, because I wonder if it's because that doesn't seem to make sense to me that it doesn't show me the other errors. Okay.
Well, that's just the build output, so it depends. I think you don't necessarily get build output from the act of saving, but if you do a deliberate build from the build menu, then that will recompile everything and will either generate that there and also potentially in the errors tool panel as well.
Yeah, I think we have the problem in self-destruct is what I think we have here. I bet that's it. Here we go. Look at this. I think it needs a now. I bet that's totally the problem. Yeah, it takes a now right here in the self-destruct. That could be the piece that we need. That's probably it right there. I think everything else is okay. Let's come in here and we'll refresh this.
I'm amazed everything was running at all without that sort of stuff. Although JavaScript does tend to be fairly resilient, it just keeps on going.
Okay, so let's do a launch. Let's bring my drone out. Whoops. Must spell it correctly. There's my drone. There's the launch. Let's do a test of, I think just sample is what we called it. That's the last one we had up. And let me move right.
That'll look better.
3, and then go down 5. And this is going to end me soon, I think. Oh, no, you're going to die first. Watch Rory. Oh,
Oh,
Rory.
that vanished again.
Vanished. I totally saw it. Any
Slipped
errors?
into an alternate dimension.
Nope. No errors. Self-destruct. Let's look around here. Oh, look at this.
Huh.
I just got to keep going out. Let's go out. Removing. Let's go out. Maybe I didn't finish all of this. Removing is there. Takes a now. Removing is there. Destroying takes a now. Okay. Yep. This is all as a result of the last refactoring that we were doing. Okay. Let's try that and refresh. See what we got. Okay, and while we do this, Will, I think let's think about the next place you want us to go with regards to this.
Okay. I think probably the first step would be updating the game loop.
Okay. All right, so there we are. Go ahead, Rory. Go destroy yourself. Here we go. 1. You can just say down. You can type in D22. Oh, you're going to sneak through.
I just went straight through.
You snuck through.
Okay.
That's because we're only testing the single point for collision. We're not testing. Okay, here we go. One more time. Closer.
Well,
Closer.
yeah.
You got. Wait. Oh, no, wait. Because the smoke. That isn't closer, actually.
the smoke sometimes appears and sometimes didn't, which
Yeah.
is a little strange because there was one where it just completely vanished.
All right, let's do this.
If you do an actual build mark on the code,
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
we
I'm
maybe
just,
get a definitive list.
I'm going to do that right now. So let's just do a build. See what we get.
And if this doesn't work, I think what you can do is
Here we
you
go.
can change the TS config, and it will to tell it not to generate the output if the compilation fails.
Yeah, so effectively you have no output and we'll get a blank screen essentially if things are in any way not compiling, which is quite nice because you fail very fast at that point.
What is this? Microsoft Visual Studio current
It's
version
the-
targets.
I've had that before and ignored it, and things have started working. Maybe concentrate on the ones in the TS files a little lower down.
Yeah. All right, let's look at that.
I won't suggest that it's necessarily the best technique, but if there are things we know how to fix, we can fix those first.
All right, this is what we should have done at the very beginning. Let's go through Cycle Planet. That's going to take a now. I've got a now above here. Anywhere else Cycle Planet is existing? Nope, just there. Okay, what else? Not that. I want this. Come on. Roy, can you mark the time on this? I saw that when I double clicked on
Yeah.
that other one, when I'm opening up these files, it seems like CodeRushed is slowing things down. Can you
Okay.
make a note and get in touch with the team on that? I want to see what's going on there. I think
Yep.
these are easy to ignore, and they're not. Whatever we're doing in here doesn't need to happen as it opens. Okay,
Fair enough.
that's the problem
Yep.
right there. Okay, look at that. Okay, let's see. Expected one arguments, but got
So that's
two.
blow up there.
But you got 0. Sorry, this is probably taking a now as well, I bet. Yep, that takes a now. And I bet we've got a now coming in here. Yeah, we do. Okay. Could not copy.
Let's give her those two, yeah.
Cannot find now. So that's fixed.
And
That's fixed. That's fixed. We're like in circles almost.
I think there's a degree to which this gets duplicated in these things because there's the same files and same things, so a fresh build can sometimes work that out.
Yeah, I hit build, but just I was doing that. I had my eyes over here, and I was thinking, wait, were half of those TS files and the other half JavaScript? Wondering if that was what we were dealing with.
Oh, maybe.
Why we had duplicates. Okay, this error.
So have we included the? Are we operating from a solution that actually has a project file, or are we just opening a folder?
No, it's got a
if-
solution file. Pretty sure.
So if that's the case, we could probably exclude the JS files, and then they wouldn't be part of any kind of detected issue.
I agreed. I'm not sure if those were JS files there that were over in the list over there. All right, so
Okay.
so the next step that Will is suggesting, which I'm okay is fixing the loop, the update loop, so it looks a little bit more like what we had in the fiddle. I'm still looking at a build going on here. Let's see. That's it. Ultimately, we're at this point. This point, I feel pretty confident we can fix by once again going in and killing every instance of Chrome, which I'm doing them right now. And let's come back in here and we can close this and just run. And I think now, hopefully now we're going to, the blow up call. This is the part that was failing.
That would
That's
be
when the drone hits the
Capable
wall,
of dying with fire.
right? Or no, wait, hit wall here, and blow up is for the meteor when the meteor hits a solid wall. Wait. Builder is this time. Let's see what our builder is this time.
Yeah,
It's
that's
locked?
The same
I thought I
too.
killed everything. Maybe I didn't kill everything. Hold on a second. It's not only Chrome. Hold on. It it's also the original one, which I've got running. I've got actually 2 of these running, I think. And now, let's see what we've, see if we've got this and if it'll work. Okay. Here it is. We're up. Let's do the test. So we're going to say test sample is what I think we called it. Whoops, too soon. We got to wait. There it is. Now it's loaded. Okay, there's test sample. All right, Rory, you're an expert at this now. Just type in D44 or something like that.
Suicide.
Yeah.
Crash
By the
all
way, that
things.
there's a shorthand for that. You can just type in D22 without a space. You don't need it. Here it is. Oh, what? What the what? How did you
Wow.
not? All right, let's set a breakpoint. Let's figure out what's going on here. This is the wall bounce. If the test sprite is an instance of the drone, we're going to add some smoke. And
Sparks have been working.
yeah, I think we're going to just do
So
this.
those 2 are good.
I'm going to set a breakpoint there and see what happens. Let's run it now.
Okay.
And actually, the sparks are working. You're right. So it's not. That's not the best place for the. Let's just clear the breakpoint and watch it. Go ahead and go down. Go down and let's see the smoke. No smoke that time. So let's go set a breakpoint on this here. Why are we not seeing the smoke? Go ahead and go down. Okay. So we're going to add this. Here we're going into game time, returning performance not now. That should totally work. I'm not expecting that to fail. All right, so this all looks good to me coming out of here. This is my add call in sprite, so we're just pushing that into the array. And it says sprite hit wall. Okay, so here's where the spark smoke is. It's interesting to me that it's not. There's a call to draw there. There should definitely be smoke there. I don't understand why that's we're not seeing. We saw it intermittently before when you were testing. I remember seeing it before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's go inside hit wall. What do we have going on here? There's the zap
So if I
sound
still have
effect.
health, then I get zapped. Yep.
And this is going to
And then we
do
pick
the
a random
sparks.
set of sparks.
This
We have
is
definitely seen multiple different types of that.
that's the breakpoint I want right there. Is the self-destruct call. Okay, let's keep running it. And here's the self-destruct call. Okay, so let's go and take a look at that. User moving. And 4 all sprites in there. Destroy. The match data is going to be, I think that's the your user ID, your Twitch user ID in there. Our index comes back at 0. You're the first one in the list. There's the sprite data. That's you right there. I think we should see that. There you are right there. Display name
There we
Rory
go.
Becker
Name good.
CodeRushed. If destroy function, then is this my problem? Nope, destroy function doesn't have a now on the end of it. I mean, doesn't have a, and let's just make sure, is that our problem? Did we pass in the wrong destroy function is here, and it's declared as taking a sprite proxy, sprite width, and height, but no time of now. Okay, so that's good. So let's go into the destroy function. And yep, there's no now in there. All right, that's fine. I was thinking maybe that was, so we're creating an explosion, and we're pushing it, and we're even saying boom, destroy an explosion. Well, you know what my sense is on this, Rory?
Go on.
It is that it's that here we're going to go keep running. Let me try something here. I'm going to take our, I think we might be at the limit of our assets loading is what I think we might be at.
Oh,
That what we're seeing is a limitation of, oh wait, no, we can't be because we would see it running here and it's not running here. We saw a problem in OBS where if we started loading too many assets up, that OBS couldn't support it. The overlay wouldn't work. But we're in standalone Chrome. We never saw the problem in Chrome.
was fine, yeah.
Chrome was fine, right? So, yeah, I am not getting it. I'm not.
Okay, so as
understanding
far
it.
as code differences between now and last time we saw this work, we're talking about the refactoring to try and introduce now into multiple locations, and any code that we wrote yesterday regarding warp gates and their creation. That's effectively the code that has changed since. Was there anything prior to that that maybe we have also done since? Because we had a bit of a gap there.
Yeah, in terms of changes, you know what I'm thinking I want to do, which is I know a little bit crazy. It's because you were like, Mark, you did all of that work. I want to take this. I want to kind of
flatten it back.
I want to undo it.
Just do that.
Yeah, I kind of want to roll it back is what I want to do. I want to come in here. These are all my changes right here that I've made today here, right? They're loaded with all of these performance
They
now.
were all concerned with extra nows and nothing else, yeah?
They were all concerned with extra nows all the way across the board. I checked in just before I made all of these changes. So, good time to check in.
This, people, is why we use source control. This is awesome.
So what I want to do is I want to,
without that.
yeah, I think I want to go back in time is what I want to do, and take a look at this all the way across the board is what I want to do, and then we'll use this kind of game time. Yeah, it's a little hacky, but I want to try it. All right, so let's do this. Let's just come in here. We're going to take all of this. I'm going to discard all of that. Yeah, I want to discard all those changes. And let's go ahead and load them all up again. Let's go pop this one in here again like this. And let's grab that. And I'm just going to make one change to this right here so it doesn't get changed. And we'll come back and fix that at the end. And we're going to look at...
maybe we should run a test first to see how it's working.
That's a good point. We could just make sure that the error is not afflicting us before we make any changes.
He is so good. Has anybody noticed how good Will Bennett is?
Will Bennett
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
rocks.
I feel like we need more of those for Will Bennett alone. All right, yeah, let's do that. Let's
Yeah.
do a test here. Let me go out and kill, make all instances of Chrome. Just make sure we're starting from scratch. Let's run it, get it going. And...
Huh.
all right, build errors. Now, what do we have here?
Because we did have a couple of things that we fixed and will now have reverted.
Yeah,
Those
maybe,
may
but
be the same error.
I must have had that before I checked everything in. All right, so let's start again.
0 errors, looks
And
good.
Let's switch over to this view right here. Uh-oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, there it is. Cool. All right. And I have to stop right at 12 today, unfortunately. I have something else coming up right afterwards, so that's just want to be advised of that. We've got about maybe 7 more minutes. Okay, so let's do a test of sample again. Rory, get out there. Go take yourself out. And you don't need the exclamation mark on here. You
Do I not need that either? Okay.
You don't. No. Here we go. Coming down. He needs 2 more
Should be
hits.
it now.
1 more. This is it. And what's going to happen? We had the problem yesterday.
Oh.
Well, so we had the problem yesterday, but that's...
But now we have a cleaner implementation for the refactoring at least.
We
so
do. We
Still a plus.
absolutely do. Why was this failing yesterday? Let's see if it is the addition of the additional resources on this. let's go to main. There, we're in main, and let's go find our.
So presumably just not building warp gates or something similar.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Drone gateways. I'm going to comment this line of code out right here. Those are the drone gateways. That was the piece we added. Let's see what kind of trouble we get into there. Wait. I'm going to have to do more than just this because this has got that we can get rid of. That this is what we need to comment out as well here. Okay, so now let's refresh and see if that makes a difference. If not, really
It occurs to me
interesting.
maybe there's an alternative way of doing that, just to drop the number of frames down to like 1, and it'll only bother loading 1. Is that a fair way of that working, or will it still try and grab everything?
That's in the section where it grabs everything, not where it grabs fewer than it is. I just want to.
Okay.
We've done enough to test to see if it's a resource impact. I don't think it is, but
Ooh, just got clipped.
yeah. Here we go. 2 more hits, bouncing around.
I did not give it that much left-right velocity, so I'm not sure quite why it's going so much.
Okay, here we go.
See, there's some smoke. That worked.
But no explosion.
Right, no explosion.
What's going on? Okay, so yeah. Let's look at our. I guess we're going to have to go back in time here to fix the explosions. Although I'm thinking because Will's here, we should exploit the fact that he's here, and let's at least talk about the next steps that we need to do. So
Good plan.
step 1, excellent suggestion here in terms of refactoring here to come up with a gametime.now, and then later we can come in and modify this as we see fit. So we've got that, so we can control that across the board. In fact, if I were going to start creating a new game engine from scratch, I would do something just like this. I would decouple the real time from the game. I would absolutely do that, and I would never have performance.now calls in it. That's a lesson I've learned on this. So thanks, Will, for teaching us that. Number 2 is let's get to the. Hold on, I want to get to the. I want to bring up the fiddle that Will sent. And let's put a link out to this too, so everybody in the chat room can take a look at this, because I think this is super interesting and looks well designed, both from a standpoint of code.
Really good. Will, did you pull this together just like in the last day or two? Because you're just clearly that good.
Pretty much, Mark ruined my Thanksgiving with this. So.
Ah.
I do that, Rory.
Well, I say the effect is pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody.
Consider how much time we've put into this project so far, and over, let's face it, a Thanksgiving is still not a huge amount of time.
Yeah.
Will has put together this. It's great.
Well, I think what we did is we gave him examples of, how it would be to do it in a way that would get you into trouble, and enough that he was thinking about it, and he came back and he said, "Let me give this a shot." So,
Saying is we're cautionary tale.
Yeah.
It?
So this game loop is the next step in what we have to do, Rory, in terms of decoupling the time. And so it's basically a multi-step process. 1 is take out all performance nows. 2, implement a game loop that's similar to this, where we have especially this piece right here, where we can catch up if our frame rate, if our update ability on the machine we're on is not as good as it needs to be. So we can get that position and reliably be at the position we should be at, as we're, that we're predicting we would be at. This also allows us to reliably calculate decay as well. So those pieces are there. So the game loop is the second piece. I think the third piece is porting over the physics to be a vector-based engine, and then moving the individual pieces of the game, such as the meteors, anything else that behaves and works with gravity, over to the new vector-based engine, the drones. So that's kind of what my sense is what we need to do in terms of the next steps.
Sounds good.
So at least we know what we need to do. With this, though, I'm going to take about 3 minutes, and I'm going to try and find this bug, if we can find this. Why are we not exploding is the question. So let's do a couple things here. Let's just, for sanity, let's come in and check the... let's see. Let's go to update screen. And inside update screen, I've got I think they're the drone explosions right here. And I just want to,
Explosion.draw is commented out. Is that the wrong one, or is that a previous piece?
I think that's something else that's
Okay.
different. Let's see if we can drill down to it. Yeah, it doesn't know what that is. That's something
okay,
else.
fair enough.
Okay, drone explosions are here. Load drone explosions. It's being called. This is our main function right here, our main method of code. So load drone explosions is being called, and the number of drone explosions is 11. So we are adding those in there. So we can. Let's see where else we're going to be here. Drone explosions. Hold on, though. It looks like. Are we for failing to add a drone explosion? Oh, wait, add drone explosion is here. Add drone explosion is passed in to destroy. The destroy function is that. Is there?
Why is that happening in the meteor for a drone explosion?
Because a drone explosion can be reused. It's okay.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But this
Uh,
wouldn't be the occasion where we're expecting it on a drone
Yeah.
being...
Oh, this should be working
dying, as it
too.
were.
Let's go check this out. If you just type in drone twice, this should work. Drone once gets you
Fair
out.
enough.
Drone a second time. That one worked.
Okay, they're good.
So that one is working. This call to destroy
So
add
the
drone explosion is
capability's
working.
good, it's just when it happens as a result of a drone impacting something.
Yeah, let me go in here and let's set a breakpoint here. And we're running. Let's try a self-destruct on here. Roy, go back and give me a 3 and then down
So
44.
you don't mean, yeah. Oh, those ones don't hurt, sorry.
I feel like I want to make a special test for this with just boxes all around. Boom. Here we go. 2 more hits for me and I'm out. We're at a breakpoint with 1 more hit. Breakpoint. Okay. Yeah, user ID, all drones, add drone explosion. Destroy function. Destroy. Index of the matching data. Index is 0. That's me. This sprite, there it is right there. There's my name, CodeRushed. That's good. This sprite.destroying. If destroy function, that's add drone explosion. So now we're going to add drone explosion. Let's go in there. Here we go. Add drone explosion. X is about 1018 and 324. That's like right up about here. It's in the right spot. Drone explosions, all sprites. Now what we're doing is we're getting one of the random explosions because there are like 11 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 11 right there. You can see it right there. There's the 11. And so we're going to grab one of those set of sprites, and we've got one. And we can see it's got a frame interval right there, 5. So that's all good. The file name there is drones explosions explosion number 1.
Yeah.
That's good. We're pushing it on there in the list. This, by the way, so what Will is talking about with this loop, the other thing it allows us to do as well is it allows us to add some code that says pause the timer accumulation right now. So that when we're stepping through code, we're not incrementing the timer. right?
Yeah.
And then when we're done stepping through, we could we could have some more code that's called to say resume, or a button or something to say resume
So
the
we can
timer.
effectively declare that our whole step-through debug session occupied 3 seconds,
Or-
when in fact we were there for 10 minutes.
Right, or yeah, exactly. It freezes in time. In other words, we can freeze time in our debugger, which is another valuable side effect of these changes that Will is suggesting. So here's the audio call right here. Drone go boom.wave. I'm just hit F10 on that, and we're out. And
So just within that function, Mark, can we switch back there a second?
okay, sure.
I'm curious. We've got to let this drone explosion sprites equal, and then pushing onto it. But does that ever go anywhere? Are we just accumulating things in a list that never goes anywhere else?
Yes, it never goes anywhere else. This drone explosion
So
is
how would those?
This is coming from this global drone explosions.all sprites. So drone explosions, if we go drill into this, is out here. It's a sprite collection. It's all sprites is an array of sprites. And each one of those sprites
so
is
we
an
have a
array.
reference to that.
Yeah, it's an array of images.
Okay.
So if we go back out into our update, let's see where we are back in main, actually. Main, we're right here. Go back out to update screen. Right there. Somewhere in here, we're going to have, I think, all drone explosions.draw. When we get to here, there should be at least one left in it, I think. There are 11, and I think it was number 5 that we got in here. Is that right?
I don't remember the number.
Sprites. It's got 0 sprites in it. 5 has
That
nothing.
has nothing, but one of them will.
I think, well, one of them should, unless enough time has passed that it's like, no. That's array of 0, array of 0, array of 0, array of 0.
And of course, this
Array
is
of
what
one.
we were talking about just
Here
a
it
minute
is.
ago. Oh, it is there. Good.
Here it is, right here. So it's this one right here is the explosion that's coming up. Its frame index is 0, so it's right at the beginning. So that's cool too. So, but it's going to disappear the second after we draw it. Let's just drill into the draw here. Yeah, this should all totally work. This is code that's all over the place that's being used here. I think I unfortunately hit F10 on for each here instead of F11, so I skipped over that. Returning is the get alpha the problem? Let's see, sprite.get alpha. Expiration date, maybe this is my problem. And it does the opacity of it. I want, because we made this change recently. But that would be, let's go back to where we were when we were adding it. Let's just look at this real quickly. And I do have to shut down, unfortunately. I was thinking we were close to answering it, but now I'm thinking we're not close to answering here. So I want to, this is my drone explosion here. I wonder here, dot expiration, it's looking for something like that, expiration lifetime. Now I'm not seeing it there. Oh wait, because that's not there, it's here. It's the new sprite proxy. Yeah, it's this piece, but this should all be okay. I think I'm gonna have to take a look at it, Roy. It looks like I'm not gonna be able to solve it today. So I'm a little bummed about that.
That's a shame.
But it's time right now. And Will, you're gonna help us. We're gonna give away.
It's a brand new car!
Copy of CodeRushed.
Oh, copy CodeRushed? Okay, today was going to be the day I give away. He said, well, I tried. Okay.
He obviously doesn't want the car. I mean, the couple of times we tried, he's just not been interested.
Yeah, it's like people don't want a new car. All right, so it's going to be a copy of CodeRushed, he said.
CodeRushed giveaway!
All right, and today's lucky winner is going to be, look for it,
Ace Flame Seer.
Ace Flame Seer. Excellent.
Hey,
Ace Flame Seer.
congratulations.
Great job.
We've got a brand new CodeRushed.
Copy of CodeRushed. Excellent. All right. So kids, sorry about that. We did not end up concluding where I wanted to, unfortunately, but I have to shut down. I have another thing coming up that I've got to get to. With that, I want to say thanks so much to Will Bennett. Will, thank you. All your